Can you tell us more about yourself, about your experience?
Well, I'm 50 years old. I've been married for 27 years. My wife's a real estate appraiser, and I have three children. One is in Barber College, and one of my daughters is the house mom for the first human trafficking home here in Polk County.
Uh-huh.
And my youngest daughter is married, pregnant, and has her own photography business,
Wow.
and currently in college. I've been in law enforcement for almost 27 years. I started my law enforcement career right out of the military in California. I tested with the largest sheriff's department in the world, Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. I tested with 5,000 people. They picked 150 of us for the academy. I went through the academy down there, and then I worked in a variety of different jobs in Los Angeles, from court services to the jail to narcotics to patrol. And then from there, I worked in Pomona Police Department, went through the Rodney King riots, and after that decided to move back home to Iowa and to raise my family. So when I came back here, I tested with Des Moines Police Department and Polk County Sheriff's Office at the same time. And Polk County Sheriff's Office hired me first, so I was hired by the longest standing sheriff in Polk County history, Bob Rice. So I'm currently been with them for quite a while.
Okay.
I'm a sergeant with them,
All right.
and I do warrants and a lot of paperwork right now
Okay.
because I'm running for sheriff against my boss. That's one reason I'm running for sheriff, because comparing to the largest sheriff's department in the world, LA County Sheriff's, to the largest sheriff's department in Iowa, Polk County Sheriff's, I have something to compare to, and I just think we can do a better job here in Polk County.
We know that one of your proposals is that you will eliminate speed cameras.
Right.
But many people think that speed cameras make our roads safer. What's the reason behind your proposal?
The reason is, for me, is two things. There is a law that says we can have them, but the sheriff or police chief does not have to use them. Okay? For me, it's all about revenue. Okay? And most people understand that. My philosophy is, if you can't balance your books, your bureaucrats at the top, there's no reason to tax citizens twice. Okay?
Okay.
When you get pulled over by a police officer, that's a due process issue that you get awarded according to the Constitution, the 5th and 6th Amendment. You get to have a conversation with them. A speed camera takes a picture of your front or back plate, and it mails a citation to the registered owner. They have no idea if you're driving that vehicle. That's a problem for me and most citizens. The other thing is they claim they're about safety. But if it was about safety, why are you allowed to go 11 miles an hour over the speed limit before the registered owner is given a ticket?
Okay.
So it's not about safety. It's clearly about one thing, and that's revenue.
Okay.
So I have a problem with it, along with 90% of police officers. They understand that. And what I'm finding is the majority of the public feels the same way about that.
Okay.
Now, your department heads, your boards of supervisors, your city council, your chiefs, and your sheriffs, they like them for one reason. It creates a lot of money for them.
Okay.
I'm not into illegally, fraudulently, in my book, taking money twice from citizens. They're already taxed once. I'm not going to make up a civil citation and tax you twice because I can't balance my books. That's not going to happen when I'm the sheriff.
Hire more police officers, or
that goes into my second point.
Okay.
We have balanced our budgets before without speed cameras. We're 10 years behind in this state to this point. In California and Arizona and all over the country, they've already gotten rid of speed cameras because the people rose up and they vetted their candidates, their city councilmen, their chiefs, their boards of supervisors, their sheriffs. And when they really found out what they were all about, revenue and not public safety, they voted the people out of office that wanted them. That's how you get rid of them. We have a supervisor to staff ratio of 1 supervisor to every 2.5 deputies. The national average is 1 to 10.
Wow.
So what I'm going to do to even that out is, as soon as I'm elected, there's going to be a lot of people in the upper chain of command with 30 to 40 years on that are going to automatically retire because they're going to have to work for a living if I'm the sheriff, and they know that, so they'll retire.
Okay.
From that happening, that will allow me to buy much needed staff at the bottom, detention officers in the jail, deputies on the street, to better serve the citizens and cut our overtime in all divisions of the sheriff's office that you and I as taxpayers are paying for. We have a lot of supervisors right now that are sitting in offices doing nothing, managing themselves and managing others. And when you call 911 because somebody just T-boned your family at an intersection or somebody's at your back door breaking in, you're not expecting a 15-minute response time. You're expecting somebody to be there.
Right.
We currently have 4 deputies patrolling the entire county. That's unacceptable.
Wow.
But we have a lot of supervisors sitting in offices doing nothing. So it's not going to be a problem with the speed cameras. People always try to say that, oh, what are you going to do with that extra money? We did it fine without them. We'll do it fine by reallocating the sources, the supervisors at the top when they retire, to purchasing more deputies, detention officers, clerical staff to do the job to serve the citizens at the bottom.
Okay. According to Sheriff Bill McCarty on my previous interview, he said that most of the cameras out there are requested by the community.
Right.
Right. What do you think about that?
What I found since I ran in 2012 and now, I found that 90% of the people do not want them. I can tell you because I deal with this every day and talk to the people that deal with the cameras every day. There is a small list of people that want that camera or that vehicle in front of their house or sitting in their driveway. Okay, that's a small list. It's being exaggerated by the sheriff. Okay. Now that's selfish patrol is what that is. Oh, I want this camera in the front of my house. I want it in front of my driveway. When somebody speeds by that house, if they have a fat wallet or a lot of money, they can just pay that $65 every day and nothing happens.
Right.
If you get pulled over by a police officer speeding every day, there's consequences for your choices. If somebody's at the back door of that resident breaking in and they call 911, that speed camera and that vehicle is not coming to help them. If you drive by that vehicle every day intoxicated, that vehicle is not going to do anything to you.
Right.
If you drive reckless by that vehicle every day, nothing's going to happen to you. So it's all about money and nothing about safety.
Okay.
It's fraud, and I'm not going to put up with it as a sheriff.
What are your objectives if you're elected sheriff?
The objectives are several things. One, to get rid of the speed cameras. 2, we've already talked about the supervisor to staff ratio. 1 supervisor to every 2.5 deputies. We need to make it 1 to 10, which is the national average. The other thing is enforcement of immigration laws. The other thing is put together a gang team and a human trafficking team, because I don't know about you, but we've been having a lot of issues with drive-by shootings, with gang problems in Polk County.
Right.
Now, there's gang members coming here from Los Angeles because of the 3 strikes you're outlaw, St. Louis, Kansas City, Minneapolis, and Chicago. There's tagging that I recognize from Los Angeles. There's people in the jail that will flat out brag where they're from, and the reason they come to Iowa is because Interstate 35 and 80's right here, and it's a fast place to move narcotics, the sex trade, human trafficking, and they look at us like we're a Mayberry effect, kind of like we don't really know what we're doing, so we're going to play in Polk County in Iowa as long as we can until we're pushed out. I'm going to put together a gang team and get them for criminal gang participation and let them know that they're not welcome in this county if they're going to play like that.
Now, talking about the Latino community, do you have any plans in order to have a very good communication with our community if you're elected as sheriff?
Here's what I'm going to do, and it's called Share with the Sheriff, and it's on my website, charlestonforsheriff.com. I think that since law enforcement is such a small minority, the only way that we can truly work together and have a safer community is working together with everybody. There's got to be a communication gap that can't be as wide as it is now. It has to be close. If we know that there's burglaries happen right in this neighborhood, I'm going to be the type that sends out a press release or gets on the TV with my public information officer, and I'm going to let the citizens know that between midnight and 2 in the morning, we're looking for a white 2-door car with 2 males wearing gray hoodies, 5'8" to 130 pounds. They're burglarizing cars, and I guarantee it, in this neighborhood, wherever we're at, that instead of one patrol officer looking for that, there'll be thousands of sets of eyes looking for that.
Okay.
And that's how we can work together as a community. The other thing is my Share with the Sheriff program. I'm going to do a monthly program where I'm going to go into town halls, into churches, community centers, playgrounds, and we're going to come together in the community, and we're going to talk with different groups of people, different neighborhoods, and we're going to figure out what we need to do to make each other safer and work together. The other thing I want to do is in those meetings, I want to get law enforcement together in the metro to take off the uniform, put some shorts and t-shirts on. Let's come in to play some soccer games. Let's play some softball, some football, this kind of stuff with the community to let them know that, hey, we're part of you too. A COP acronym means Citizen on Patrol. We're all on the same team together.
Okay.
That's what it means. And we need to increase our Explorer Post program, which is our junior deputies from the age 14 to 21. So I want to get into the community with the young kids and let them know that it's an honorable profession to be a peace officer. And I want all ethnic backgrounds. I want Spanish speakers, Sudanese, I want African Americans, I want whites, I want everybody to be police officers in our community, because that's how you tie everybody together, and there's an investment in your community with the relationships that you build within your community by doing that. But that's done by being accountable to the people, going and meeting with the people about the needs, letting them know that if you want to get a hold of the sheriff, you can get a hold of the sheriff. I'm not going to be sitting in a desk behind and sending out supervisors to talk to you. If you want to get a hold of the sheriff, and it's a legitimate reason, so we can get together and have a meeting like this with some Q&A time, question and answer time, let's do it.
One of the rising concerns right now with our community is the immigration, right?
So it's one of 26 sanctuary counties.
Right.
Okay. And that's pushed through the Attorney General's office, Tom Miller, and Polk County Sheriff Bill McCarthy. Okay. We take an oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States. We have rule of law. Okay. Do I think that we need immigration reform? Absolutely. Some of the stories I hear about waiting in a line and the amount of money it costs, that's ridiculous. But I don't make that law. I'm just telling you that it needs to be changed. And I learned a lot of this in Los Angeles from dealing with all kinds of different ethnic backgrounds. The conservative values that the Latino community brings is the same as me and my family, along with a lot of other ethnic backgrounds. So the bottom line is I want to be the voice of the legal immigrant that waited in line, paid a lot of money to get here, is hardworking, wants to put their kid through school, raise a better family, wants to do it legally. They are getting threatened by illegal immigrants. A coyote can have somebody over here in 3 days for $1,500, and then they melt into the community, into other family members, and a lot of them are competing with that illegal immigrant for a good paying job for their family when they waited in line and did it correctly. I want to be their voice.
In the future, feel free. Doors are open. I mean, if we have to talk about anything, and hopefully we'll be able to.
I'll do my best I'll do my best to be honest and be available to you. And if I can't answer a question, I'll tell you I can't answer it. I don't have that authority. But I'll be honest with you.
Sounds good. I appreciate your time.
No problem.